Citizen Talks is a podcast series brought to you by TRT World Citizen, featuring discussions with humanitarians and activists, artists, and changemakers, exploring the global humanitarian issues that shape our society and the world at large. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Citizen Talks. I am your host Minkailu, and today we are very much pleased to be joined by Seda Kajan, the first Turkish female race car driver to become European champion. Seda, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for inviting.
That's our pleasure. So first things first, I want to, because I don't think a lot of our audience members will be familiar with you, so can you give them a brief overview about who you are and what you do?
Of course. Hello everyone, I'm Seda Kacan. And as you told, I am the first Turkish female racing driver who become a European champion. And I also work as a senior brand manager at a global corporate company. I am an industrial engineer who I graduated from the Yıldız Technical University. And I was born and raised in a Kırklareli, which is a very small city. So this is the very sum up story.
Okay. That's interesting that you have like two full-time jobs.
Yes, I have two full-time jobs.
Interesting. How do you manage that? That's kind of...
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but before I start my racing career, I was kind of say that I don't have to do a time for a sport, that I was that kind of a mindset. But after when I started to my racing career, I feel like person can find a time if they want so much.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know.
So let's talk about that actually.
Yeah.
Your journey. What was that like to become a race car driver? Like where did that start and how did you end up where you are today?
I guess my motorsport passion is like internal combustion because, as I told you, I was born in and raised in a very small city, so no one around me or in my family has interested in this sport or even knew that that could be done in Türkiye. So
yeah.
I couldn't have an opportunity to start in a young age, but I always loved cars. I always rather than play with the cars than Barbies while I was young. So when first computer has bought our home, I went to a store and I bought a Need for Speed. It was my first game, but if you ask why, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's why I say internal combustion.
The spirit just grabbed
I
you.
guess it makes it passion, but then at the age of 27, I took out a loan from a bank to start my racing career. It was the starting point.
So you would have to, if you're starting out in the industry, you have to like fund your own vehicle and everything like that.
Yes, exactly. If you can't find a sponsor.
Okay, interesting. So I want to know a bit about the racing industry because it's not a sport that I'm super familiar with. Mm-hmm. Like what's the culture there like, and you know, what kind of people are becoming race car drivers?
Most of the drivers have a family member who does this sports or who loves this sport very much. So generally it's coming from the family. But we can see examples like me,
yeah.
which they want to attend the sport. This culture has, lots of emotions, I guess, because you have the adrenaline, excitement, unexpected events at the race or out of the race.
Right.
Team spirit, even if it looks like a one person driving, it's a really team spirit sport. So it has lots of ups and downs. So it, makes you feel alive, I think.
Yeah. Would you describe, I don't want to say something not offensive here, but would you describe race car drivers as reckless kind of people? Would you say that they're like very addicted to, like adrenaline junkies, kind of addicted to that rush?
Adrenaline addicted, it's definitely. Because, for example, it's been almost 2 months. I didn't race. My race is in the next month.
Yeah.
I feel like, something is happening, like,
You got the itch.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the itch. I have to race, come on.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
we have adrenaline addictives.
Okay, interesting. So I think, for those of us who even peripherally see from a distance the racing industry, it's pretty clear that it's primarily a male-dominated sport.
Exactly.
So, as a female in the industry, what kind of difficulties did you encounter as you were processing in your progressing, in your career?
Yeah. Of course, I had lots of difficulties. For example, from who do not see me as a competitor at the first races, or to not finding the right size of the equipment which I should have to be able to race.
Right.
For example, when men win a race, they say congratulations without asking any other questions. But when I win a race, they ask like, how many people were racing? Were there any accident in the race? They are focusing other things rather than my success. They don't directly say, "Oh, congratulations, you made it." So, but when I started this career, I knew that there will be, lots of prejudices. So I didn't let them to affect my career. But the most difficult thing for me to, find a people or brand or company to support my dreams, because it's a funding. It requires a funding to do this sport. So when I told my dream to companies, to brands, to people, they were like,
really?
Can you? Like, it was really hard to find a sponsor. So, but there was like lots of times that I think like, okay, this is it. I cannot do it. But I stubbornly didn't give up. And because I knew that I will be succeed. And I always believe that when I succeed, I will find that support. So I'm still trying. But I believe that I should be continue. And I believe that I will break that prejudices, and I will find the sponsor when I need.
Okay. So who's ultimately ended up sponsoring you, just out of curiosity? What?
My main sponsor is my own company.
Oh, nice.
Like when I say my own, the company that I'm working at.
See, that's smart. You take both jobs and make them work.
I'm really lucky that I am working at a company who, values to support women in all fields. So I can say that I'm lucky.
Okay. If I can ask you a semi-personal question, what kind of feedback or pushback did you get from your own family when you said, okay, I want to be a race car driver, like this is what I'm going to do and I'm committed to this idea?
And they generally used to my, crazy ideas since childhood. And when I started, I was 27, so I was, supporting my own life, and it was my decision. So they were like more, isn't it dangerous, kind of mindset.
No. So is there anything in sort of Turkish culture that was a bit of a hurdle in terms of getting to where you want to be? Like, is there anything sort of, I don't see a ton of Turkish race car drivers, right? What's the reason for that? And was there any kind of block as a result of that?
In Türkiye, the main sport is, as you may guess, football.
Oh yeah.
So so all the opportunities, equipments, like tracks, etc., they are not available so much. And since this sport depends on a euro, from the economic perspective, it's also not easy to execute. So. There are, some obstacles, of course, due to the Turkey situation.
Yeah, okay. So all of these difficulties that you faced as a woman, maybe some opposition culturally and sort of an unfamiliarity in Turkey with the industry, did you feel like these things ever affected your performance when you were actually, racing? Did you feel like you were at a disadvantage because of any external opposition to your participation in the sport?
I believe that could be disadvantages as long as you let them affect you, but I knew that all the obstacles before I started, so I focus more than what I can do, because I believe that I don't represent myself on the track. I also represent my country, and I also represent all the women, because I have a mission. I want to prove that success in this sport is not depend on a gender. So when these things happens, I always, remind this mission to myself. So, and even I can say that these obstacles is my also main motivation, because I wanna broke them.
Right. That's always good.
Yeah.
So when you have a large race going on, is it accessible both to men and women? This is actually not something that I know about the industry.
The races, most of the races are mixed. They are not separated as women or men.
Okay. What's the average sort of rate of participation of women in the industry today? Is it like, if you could give it a percentage, let's say, like how many percent?
I can say that it's so rare.
Yeah.
Because until right now, I'm thinking, all the races I attended, I was the only woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Even in this European Championship, even in the my first abroad race was in Italy.
Okay.
I was racing with 32 men. So again, I was the only one. So it's so rare.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So how did that feel when you won your first championship? Like what was the feeling that you had in yourself? Obviously,
I remember that I was so nervous and excited at the same time, because it's another field. I don't know the track. I never raced with that many crowded competitors, so it was both exciting but a little bit scared.
Yeah.
But I got a really good support from my team. So we said, let's try. Even if you don't succeed, it's gonna be experiment for me. And all the races I attended, makes me improve in all the way. So, but I'm super happy that in my first abroad race, I became the third.
Yeah.
And I made it to podium.
Yeah.
And it was also a special day, a national day for Türkiye.
Okay.
It was at the 29th of October, so which was the publishing day. So
Right.
I was really happy.
Have many women actually won or placed in that specific race that you were in? Like, is there a history of women winning that, or were you one of the first ones ever?
Yeah, I was the first one.
You were the first one
Yeah.
ever. Oh wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's crazy. So I guess I would want to know what kind of message that you would want to give to young girls, especially who are participating in fields or in sports or industries that are not really catered towards or considered traditionally appropriate for women. What would you say to them to help them sort of overcome the obstacles that they may face?
I can, tell from my own journey, of course. When you tell your dream to people, there will definitely be people like saying, "Don't be ridiculous, you can't do this," etc. But it's up to us to focus on them or to our wishes. I guess the main important thing is to take step, because it cannot be easy. Yeah, I know. I have been through there. But when you take a little, even if it's a little step, it can change everything. Because I believe that paths will open up to one who they are. So please don't focus on the others and focus on yourself. Because when you start to do something, make you smile, and then you cannot stop.
So would you recommend to more young girls to get involved in the racing industry?
Of course, definitely.
Okay, what's a good way for them to start? How can they get started in that?
Let's say the primary school of the motorsport is karting. So I definitely recommend to start from karting. It's not depending on the age. As I mentioned, I started my karting at 27. So it's never too late. They should start from karting. and then they need to choose the area because there is lots of different areas in the motorsports, like rally, like open wheel races like Formula One, or normal automobile races, etc. So they can focus on what they want after the karting.
Okay. Which one are you doing? Sorry, I didn't ask that. Which type of racing?
My type of racing is the closed wheel, normal
Okay.
automobile race car series.
Okay. And that's your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
the
like
young-
to be on a circuit.
Okay. All
not
the young
on-
girls out there, let's get into this.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So, do you have any sort of like final statements that you'd like to give to our audience? Any kind of anything you'd like to leave them with now?
How I can close, yeah.
Take your time. Words of encouragement, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking about it. Like, I can say that maybe just please, everyone should ask this to themselves. If they knew that they will be succeed, what will be their dream? Because when we thinking about our dreams, we definitely say that no, I can't do this, and we block that idea. But if they knew that they are not gonna fail, what will they dream? That's the key question.
Great. I like that. Perfect. So where can they find out more information about you? Do you have some websites, social media stuff that you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, I'm using social media. Can I mention Instagram?
Yeah, please.
They can follow me on the Instagram by searching Seda Kaçan. And I am trying to reply as much as messages, especially to young girls.
Okay. I won't message you then.
I can find you.
I appreciate that.
If you have a question about motorsports, I
Yeah,
would
sure,
like to
sure.
answer. But they can find me on Instagram, and I will be really appreciate they can support me.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining us
you.
today. We really appreciate you. And all of our listeners, please do follow Seda on Instagram. Follow her career, future races, things that are going on. Do you have anything coming up in the near future?
Yeah, I have a race in the November.
November.
At Italy.
Okay, great. Yes, so please pay attention for that. So for all our listeners, thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you again on the next episode of Citizen Talks.